All right, guys. Hello. It is High Priestess Jamila. So, a thought came to my mind, and it's probably from all this dang on demon worship, which no, I don't worship demons or the devil or Satan. I think people get that confused. Okay. Um, I wanted to come and speak to you guys about confusing your oppressors are either your dictators or people that are telling you what is best for you, confusing them with your protection or your salvation is what I want to talk about. Okay, so this is High Priestess Jamila. If you are new to the channel, which I doubt it if new people are even coming to this channel, it could be though, possibility. Okay. So if you're new, welcome. If you are a regular, hello. For some reason, this idea popped into my head pre cup of coffee. I haven't had my coffee today yet. I feel like when I look around at the world and then just some of the experiences that I have had, um, there are a lot of people that confuse events or messages from spirit. And a lot of people are confusing these messages that are coming in from the universe. You're confusing basically your you're confusing the messages that are coming from the universe, from your support system. You're confusing those messages with your adversaries, your enemies. You're confusing these messages. And sometimes even the overall messages are being confused. And a lot of people, and I've noticed this with a lot of people. And so if something is happening, a tower moment, a major event in their life, they will feel as though the reason why this major event is happening is to protect you. Um, and it's not, it's meant to oppress you. So, certain things that you want to do, your oppressors will tell you that's dangerous, that's not good for you. And I'm speaking specifically on religion and spirituality and taking the making when you're making the choice between the right hand path and the left hand path. Okay. Now, it's obviously certain things that you shouldn't do, especially when you're out here in the world dealing with witches, dealing with warlocks. It's probably certain things that you shouldn't do that may cause karmic backlash to you. But I'm talking about specifically when it comes to choosing your religion. And this happens a lot to women because women are systematically oppressed. Um, in fact, most other forms of oppression are bullcrap. Most of them are bullcrap. The main oppression is happening to women. The main oppression is happening to women. And it's a scary concept to a lot of women because a lot of people get scared. When you get scared, you start to fear, you start to want to protect, and then you'll want to go along with this type of programming. For example, men and them pushing organized religion onto you, okay? As if women actually benefit from organized religion, and they don't. In fact, a lot of women that are involved with organized religion are very miserable. They're very miserable. Their lives are unfulfilled. You can tell because, you know, they are looking on the other side where you're at, and they are feeling as though the grass is greener, but yet they don't want to admit it. And then this is when women start going at each other, when all of us should be sticking together to stop the oppressing of women. When you stop oppressing women, you're going to stop the suffering, and you're going to clear up a lot of the um, problems that children are experiencing. Because a lot of women, for example, if you were in my position, you would be rethinking, you would be rethinking your choices. You would be rethinking them. You would be like, oh my God, why did I do that? Or why did I do this? I was wrong. This makes me think about, especially if you are Luciferian, or if you go the left hand path, is what they call it. Okay. This brings me back to Anton LaVey. Okay. And the propaganda that was surrounding his death. Um, there was so many lies that was put out there about his death. Supposedly, when Anton LaVey died, evidently he must have admitted, they claim, which I don't believe them, but he must have admitted. Apparently, they said that he said some, his last dying words were, "Oh my God, I was wrong," or something like that. "Oh my God, what have I done?" Is basically what he said. When I guess in reality, I guess they were trying to say that he was down to hell, or he went to hell, and he was begging God for forgiveness during his last breath. And that's actually not the process of death. I mean, it could be, I guess, but for some reason, I don't believe them. I believe that they lie about things like that. I believe that they push the religious agenda to keep you under control. And it's not even the higher ups. People are always talking about the elite. Um, on some level, I do believe that the elite needs people to be in a mind frame to buy, to consume expensive things, and to spend their money on expensive things. That would be the elite. The elite would be, you know, the buyers and makers, I'm sorry, the sellers and makers of things that would make you spend, you know, all of your wealth on them. You know what I'm saying? Cars, yachts, maybe expensive vacations, maybe expensive clothes. The elite have a lot to do with that aspect of it, right? That's the only aspect that the elite are typically involved with, is you spending your money on things. And so that's why they need certain people, a certain amount of people, to be dumbed down. Otherwise, those particular, you know, companies or corporations, they would stop making money. But as far as like with you, you know, the people that are, you know, switching over or learning or expanding their spirituality, I don't believe that the elite have anything to do with that. I believe it is the people that are amongst your class. Those are the people. And it's mainly aimed at the woman, but it can be aimed at the man. But men, when I look at the way that they treat other men, men philosophize with other men. You know, they debate with other men. With women, they command and they dictate, which for me as a woman, I don't have to get upset about it. I'm not going to scream and holler about it, and I'm not going to go crazy over it, but I am going to do what I can do about it when I feel as though someone is trying to dictate my life or kick me around. Okay. So the reason why and so what will happen, because all of us have psychic abilities, all of us do, some better, some have stronger psychic abilities or more developed psychic abilities than than other. So for example, let's say that you were a woman. I'm going to use myself as an example right now. Okay. So let's say that you are a woman in my position where you have people coming to my home, recording videos. You've got people attacking. You've got people making a big deal about my house. You got people that are putting a lot of focus on my house. You got people pulling up at my house. So, what I have found is that um, sometimes when I'm getting in these psychic messages, and if I'm ever getting in these psychic messages, I'm destroying them as they come in. And the reason why is because when you destroy something, it means this is an ideal that you have to throw away, right? So I've gotten psychic messages in of, oh, well, maybe you should move out of your house because your life could be in danger, and maybe somebody is planning on something. Maybe there's a plot against you. Maybe maybe it's best for you to just pack up and move. And I don't even bother to figure out where that is coming from. Even when I was dealing with some conflict just recently, those were the messages that I was getting in. Hey, where's your brother, Bubby? Is he still asleep? Mm-hmm. Why are you talking like that, little boy? I'm live, honey. Can you tell your brother to come here? You bought that up here for me? Mm-hmm. Okay. Why are you talking? You are such a cutie. Okay, close the door. Sorry, guys. My son just bought me some chocolate milk and not chocolate milk, milk and Oreos is what he just bought me. Okay. And I didn't even ask for it. Anyway. So here's the thing about that is that oppression is not protection. Okay. And a lot of people on this earth, as they grow, the reason why they never accomplish the things that they want in life is because they put and they keep themselves as a child. Okay. Which, as a Black woman, my male counterpart is mainly going to be the Black man. Okay. And so, what I've noticed about a bulk of Black men is that they seem to keep themselves in the place of a child, especially when it comes to dealing with God, when it comes to dealing with themselves. And so, but then at the same time, they'll say, oh, well, I am Christ reborn. I am God. But in reality, they're not God because they're never trying to navigate their own life and making a decision and sticking with it. That those decisions that they're supposed to be making are being made by other people. So this is the reason why I don't listen to the Black man when he tries to dictate to me at all. I don't listen. Okay. I don't accept that information. I feel that when you are going along on your path, and you're either going to, for yourself, ride or die for yourself. So a lot of them will discourage you, especially when it comes to women, and I don't understand why. They will encourage you to make things difficult for yourself. They'll take you through this program of difficulty. They'll try to get you to make decisions about things that may not necessarily be the best thing for you, but they will present it as the best thing for you. Just recently, I took financial advice from this man, and I wish that I hadn't, because my intuition was telling me something totally different. Okay. And my intuition was right, but I kind of went along with it just to please this person. And this is something that I will never do again. I'm just not going to do it. Okay. But, when we're dealing with these certain psychic messages, okay, and information, We will accept the oppressor's ideas, and this is the reason why you're not manifesting. You're never going to manifest. In fact, your gifts and your abilities and your knowledge is upgrading itself, especially when you have some kind of tower moment. When you have that moment to where you're like, okay, I've got to make some decisions. I feel like I'm at a crossroads. What you may need to accomplish may seem impossible, but to a lot of us, it's very possible. To a lot of us, because we've done it. A lot of us that have practiced witchcraft, a lot of us witches, a lot of us that deal in magic, we know that the impossible becomes possible with no tension, stress, or nervous agitation. But your oppressors are constantly trying to place themselves in your mindset, which is why they always say, oh, I'm in your head, I'm getting in your head. And then sometimes they'll even try to light skull candles so they can really pump stuff into your head. Okay. You have to stop being the oppressed, and stop being a child, and you have to start being your own God. Now, I have said so many times that I am not God. No, please don't identify me as God, not to you, because that would mean that I owe you something or I got some kind of responsibility to you. So I'm not God to you. I'm my God, but I'm not God of the world. Okay. I do feel that sometimes God speaks through me when he brings certain messages because I am a prophet. But I don't really do a lot of prophet. It's about me. Okay, it's about me, and what I am needing and wanting to do for my family. And then also, if you're a client, I am the liaison between you and God, because technically the oppressors have disconnected you from God. They've disconnected your consciousness. They have blocked your subconscious, blocked it off completely. They have blocked your unconscious, and they have blocked your consciousness. And that's what they're working on doing all the time, constantly. Because if they're able to control how you think, then they have you under control. And then they're able to manifest every single outcome for you. Once you start realizing this and you start getting them out of your subconscious and you start manifesting through your own consciousness, which are the certain areas of the mind, which connect you to the astral, which connect you to the etheric, then you'll start to manifest. Otherwise, you'll always be oppressed, and they'll just keep moving you around. You'll be running from pillar to post. Okay. You'll be running from pillar to post, and you'll just be getting kicked around all the time. Okay. They'll start to dictate your life, and then it will be like the Truman Show. And, sometimes your oppressors, depending on where they're coming from, it could be within your family, outside of your family. Um, what they will do is they will always know where you're at. They'll always be striving to know where you're at, what you're doing. And when you start to make moves, they'll almost try to get in there so that they can totally dictate you, like the Truman Show. Like, they can set up ops and stuff. This is what these people do. And you can always tell when you've met a person outside of that fold, because they're going to treat you differently. So your oppressors have an entire system. They have people under that system. They do. They have people that they have spoken to, that they have put into place, that they have coached. And then that's why a lot of you guys are feeling like you have all these fake and false connections. Okay. Same thing is, they will give you false ideologies when it comes to God. You know what I'm saying? And they're pushing this whole Jesus agenda so hardcore that they messing up the economy. So right now, and we, like I said, it's shifting already. It's shifting because we're on the 6th month of the year. It's shifting during the month of June, which is why June is Pride Month and everybody's celebrating Pride, because people are essentially throwing those values to the side. And it's going to have to happen. That paradigm is going to shift, and they shouldn't have ever been pushing, the whole Jesus, Abrahamic religion. You got to do what you're told or you're going to die or something bad going to happen to you. They shouldn't have been pushing that agenda in the first place, but they did. They started to push that agenda. Okay. And so whether or not Jesus exists or not, these people have to get their karma, because what they need to do is live within their agenda and stop trying to tell everybody else what to do. Stop trying to advise other people, because sometimes when you advise people, you can advise them wrong and you can create calamities in their life. Okay. So that's why, religious leaders are very responsible for a lot of the issues and the problems that a lot of y'all are dealing with, because they're telling you and they're coming from a place of fear and loathing. They're telling you not to do that, or, oh, look at this and look at that. Let's make up. So this is an agenda. Factually, this is an agenda. Okay. This is an agenda. Okay. And so they push this agenda. Why do y'all think they push this agenda solely to women? Okay. The reason why they push that agenda solely to women, especially when they're pushing a religion that is not even made for women, it's made to instruct men. Okay. Christianity, a lot of those mainstream religions, those are lessons that men need to learn. Okay, not women. That religion is obviously not for women. Okay, so this has been important for them to do that in social media, which is why a lot of y'all are under attack in social media. A lot, especially in particular, female or witches or sorcerers that are women. They are pushing that agenda to you, because men get afraid for some reason, because everything is surrounding sex and money. Men get afraid that when women start to elevate themselves, that all of a sudden they're not going to have any options of women to sleep with. And so that's why you shouldn't go along with the get along, because it's all about it's all about the physical aspects of sex, which the reality of it is that if you were somebody that a woman could covet or even want to have a sexual relationship with, you wouldn't be behaving that way in the first place. So then they'll start to force, and then it'll almost feel like rape, to where they're going to force you, right? They're going to force you, because let's face it, sex between men and women, relations between men and women is all about feeding. Okay. It's a feeding process. And the problem is that they are supposed to feed you as well. It ain't supposed to be one sided ever. Okay. And so that energy flowing together, that sex magic, they have confusion about that. Men have confusion about that. Sex magic is not just about pulling sex from the woman. So, I'm sorry, pulling energy from the woman. So then they'll start to, label themselves as incubus and succubus. But if an incubus and a succubus were to sleep together, they're going to pull energy from each other. So it's still going to be mutual. It's not going to be one sided. And, that's the agenda that they're pushing. So, when you're a woman, and, most women, when they have dealt with a bad partner, a bad sexual partner, which equals rape. Because if a man has an agenda against you and he sleeps with you, whether or not he puts on his game face or not, it's considered to be rape, in my humble opinion. In my scientific opinion, it's rape, right? Because he's lying to you to get what he wants. So he's baiting and switching, okay? Which can still mean rape because your body is your temple. Your body is important. You have to be careful about who you give your body to, your spiritual body to. Okay. You have to be careful. Okay. So when a woman goes through that, the first thing that most of us do is we want to get their energy away. We want to get away from them, clear them from our lives. And a lot of you guys need to take your power back too when you're doing that, not just cord cutting. Don't let them keep your power. Take that back too. Okay. But a lot of women will go through this period of celibacy, right? And the reason why it's best for you to go through this period of celibacy, whether or not it's for a couple of years, a couple of months, a year, 2 years, is because you know, your mind and your body and your spirit needs to heal and recharge itself. You can't necessarily give your energy to anybody because you're so low on it. You have to recharge yourself after that. Okay. And you have to also take back your power from that man that has stolen it and gave you nothing in return. Okay. It was something else I was going to say about that. It's never good to accept anything from your oppressors. It's best to stick to your guns. Like your oppressors may offer you something, say no thank you. Okay, especially if you have your money channels open. And we see a lot of men that will blatantly try to shut down your money channels, your stream, wherever you stream and get your income from, even your job. They're trying to shut that down. And the reason why they're trying to shut that down is because it's about dominance and control for a lot of men and the women that run with them. But in reality, that man is committing a crime. So, really, outside of taking your power back, it's not much that you actually have to do, but it may be things that you need to do. Because a man that does that is in violation of the divine feminine code. He's violating your DNA essentially. So you don't have to accept that. And he'll have helpers. He'll have buddies. He'll have people that are helping, you know. So don't ever take the messages and the matrix. Okay, the oppressors are that's what puts you in that matrix. Don't ever accept what they give to you, and that means information as well. Okay, it's very deceitful. That's just like if you get, I've never heard. I mean, it's very insulting. I'm gonna give y'all an example of something that they did just recently. Tried to make it seem like my house is not worthy because I had a rodent problem. I'm in the middle of the dang on jungle in the woods over in Stone Mountain, and that's to be expected over here. So, and people's houses can get rodents. So that doesn't mean that, it's not habitable. Okay. The house is still very habitable. And it's worthy of me to love on this house and to live here. But it was almost like the game was, get her away, because they think that your power is coming from a house or a car, but really in reality, the power is coming from within. Okay. So all of a sudden, it's not It's not you that is making it. It's the house itself. So we've got to separate. They want to separate you from everything. Oh, I got to separate her from this. I got to and the next thing you know, they're trying to create all of these, matrices and different realities in your mind that don't really exist. So stop allowing them to do that to you. I don't allow anybody to do that to me. I make my own decisions. Whatever it is that I want, I get. And they don't like it. You know why? Because whatever they want, they don't get. But they want something that's impossible. They want to be able to oppress and dictate to people. This is when, as a woman, you have to tear down that man. I don't care what anybody says. At that point, it's time to go to war with that man. And just because he's a man, honestly, in your world, nobody has the power but you. You have all the power when it comes to your person, when it comes to what happens to you. You have the power, right? But a lot of people don't know that, and they've been fed on for so long that they done took everything out of you. They done gutted you to the point where you don't feel like you have power to stand on. A big agenda that the masses uses against women is age. So all of a sudden, if you reach the age of 30 or 35, you're no longer valuable. A lot of people look at that as a precursor for pedophilia, though. All of a sudden, an older woman has no value. Well, I think it's a lot of older women out there that don't have any value, but it don't have nothing to do with their age. It has everything to do with the agenda that they're on. And the reason why they have no value is because they have no value to me, because they're probably trying to work against me and what I want. Okay. Or what you want. They're working against you and what you want in life. Okay. So this is how, women end up at war with each other. Okay. All right, guys. That's pretty much what I wanted to say to y'all. Y'all have a powerful Thursday. And I will see you later. Okay. Blessings.